Hello, good evening. It's Monday, so that means only one thing. It is a monthly make Monday. So tonight we're going to be playing with our November 2021 monthly make box. I nearly forgot what I was saying then. Which is our lovely rainbow. And I've always said this one is a great one for doing gifts for people, and that is what we're going to work on tonight. So what I have got is a not as cheap as I remember them cheap notebook. £1.29. Rude. They used to be £1. An extra 30p on them. And what we're going to do is cover it. So I'll show you this one first. So like I have done on this one here. Yeah, so we're going to make it look all pretty. We're going to turn it from this bright orange. There we go. Can't remember which way my camera is. There we go, that way. And so we're going to change it from this big bright orange to something, well, something using our little rainbow. Well, it's not little, is it? Our big rainbow stamp. And I've just had a thought, ooh, have I got a stamp block big enough? Well, I have to check. So that's what we're going to do. But you can do this on anything that has a wire bound that's not spiral bound. So it's wire bound, not spiral bound is what you're looking for. But there you go. You've seen me do this before, but it is a really good one for gifts, especially for like teachers and things like that. We do them quite a lot, to be fair. Hi Susie. So we're going to get going. Hi Zena. Let me just click that button. Right, so should we get going? We will move over to this one. I'm hoping I've moved it out so it's big enough so you can see all. Hi Pauline. So normally, you know me, I have got my 300 GSM white wove in front of me, and it is my go-to card for everything. However, when it comes to covering notebooks, it can be a little bit thick. So what I have got in front of me is some canvas card. I love using this, but it's about 120 GSM, and you want it a little bit thinner so that when you wrap it around you get all neat corners and things. Evening Nicola. So basically I am going to do the front cover. I'm not going to do the back because you just repeat it for the back. So I'm going to show you how to do the front cover, and then like I say, you repeat it for the back, because otherwise I'm making you watch me do it twice. Hi Mum. So first up, the notebook is really important. If we turn it to the back, this is what I was going on about. If I hold this spine up here, there we go. If I move my hand out of the way, can you see you get like your bobbles going up in there, but it never goes all the way around. Yep, so it's your wire bound ones you want, and these come apart dead easy. So can you see? It's like what you use on those binding machines. Yeah, that's the type you're looking for. So it's wire bound, not spiral bound. Don't fall for that one, otherwise you end up curling it out. It takes ages. So first up, you open your book to the back. You can see where I got mine from. There you go. So you can see mine is there. So you flick to the back, because they should always hide what should be the messy bit, the spine, in the back page. Hi Noella. And then what we're going to do, oh, I've just realised we're on the wrong bit. It's not sharing ideas tonight, it's monthly makes. Let's change that, shall we? Wrong one. There we go, that one, even better. Shows I wasn't paying attention. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that one and pull it apart. And it just takes a little bit of time, so don't rush this because you don't want to damage your spine, but just pull it apart. Basically you want enough room to get your front cover and your back cover out. There you go. You'll find your own rhythm that it works for. It does take a little bit, but I think they always look really nice as gifts, especially if you can get your little ones to, or not so little ones, to help, because I think it means a lot more. And we are this year trying to do a lot of handmade gifts for Christmas. I shouldn't really say that when my mum's on, should I? Oh no, never take your full pages out. Oof, you'll be there you'll be there forever. It does help if you've actually got a nail as well to pin it down with, but oops, that one moved too fast. There we go. So I just want it open enough, so now when I go back to the front, this bit we want to keep in. We just want to gently slide this out. You can have a bit of a wiggle. There we go, there's my back page. Now I want my front page, just very gently. And what you can also do, sometimes you can get those posh books, can't you, that have got like printed pages. Yeah. So the ones I'm thinking of, we've had like Marvel ones and things like that before. So what you do is actually, when you look at how many pages is in your book, you split it and you get 2 books out of it. And then you do need some thicker card to work with. Right, so this is going nowhere. I'm going to make sure, oh, see, it's coming out there at the bottom. Right, this is going to stay like that, and it's going to be put somewhere safe. Make sure you put it somewhere safe, because otherwise when you come to put your book back together and you can't find your middle, you are in trouble. So first up, let's have a look at these now. We need to just make sure we move anything that's going to be too bumpy. So these stickers, I know they don't look like much. I'm just going to take them off. Oops. Normally they come off dead easy, don't they? Anything like me, they're coming off in the shopping bag as you're coming home. There we go. Right, so I'm just going to get rid of that. Because you could just decorate onto the front. There we go. I'm just going to take that one as well. So how do you split it? Literally, I'd take it, pop it in half, and you can buy these binders separately. So I've got a cinch that I can bind books with. And you buy these spiral bound bits, and that's how I've split them in the past. But it's only because it was really fancy paper and there was only one and we had 2 teachers, so you couldn't give different, could you? No. Right, I'm not going to get the whole of the back off. We're not going to do the back today anyway, are we? But yeah, anything that's big or lumpy, just make sure you take it off so that you've got a lovely surface to work on. Yeah. So now, like I say, I'm only going to work on my front. I'm not going to work on my back as well, because you don't want to see it twice. What you need is, you need a big enough piece so you get good space all the way around. Normally, if I'm working on A5, I will use an A4 piece of paper. Yep. Then all I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it onto the back. And so I know how... Yeah, it is easier to do the front and back together. It's just that it's a lot of repeating. So what I'm going to do first off is I'm just going to fold it. Yeah, I'm going to fold this side. And this one. Make sure your book doesn't move, your front cover. We'll go from there. There we go. Right. So now when I turn it back over, I've got these lovely fold marks so I can see where my book sits on there. Yep. Right, now we're going to do the fun bit. We're going to do the decorating. So I know inside these fold marks, oh, you can see them really well actually. Yay! Makes a change. Inside these fold marks is what you're going to see on this front cover. Now just bear in mind, down this side you can have your binding as well. So just make sure you leave yourself about a centimetre and a half down the edge. So don't be putting anything detailed down here. Don't be putting your writing or anything down here. I always kind of like move my image in ever so slightly, but at least I know where to pop it on there. Right, so I'm going to grab my rainbow. I haven't really thought what design we're having tonight. We'll see. It's going to be something rainbow related, isn't it? You know what I might do actually? I am. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a background which actually works with a... Oh, yes, right. So, actually I should tell you that bit as well. So, before I picked up some 12x12 paper that I thought looked... Ooh, that sends your eyes funny, doesn't it? That would look quite nice on the inside of my book, because when we've finished doing our front cover, started to stick it all down, we need to make the inside look nice as well. And I thought actually this would look quite stunning. Don't know. I don't know whether I've been lines or lines, which way to go. So what I'm going to do is pick up the colours in here, which are basically pinks and greens, and use them on our front cover. Let me grab a stamping block. I've still not unpacked from Saturday, you know. I'm going to be finding lots of things that are still in my box. So lots of squeaky chair, I'm afraid, I think. Right, here we go. I'm going to pop that on there like so. And we're just going to create an all over pattern with our rainbows. So I didn't really have to worry about knowing where to stamp. It's only when you put your stencilment on that you need to know that. I am going to do my front and back page at the same time. I know I keep changing my mind, but this has just made it a lot easier. So I'm going to go all over random pattern. There you go. Right, we're sorted now. I've got a bit of an idea. I only said a bit. Did you notice that? So I'm going to start off with this one. And I'm going to use my grey because I don't want this to be really in your face. So if I did it all in black, it wouldn't really be a background, would it? So I'm going to use grey. Put that over there before it goes. I'm just going to stamp this randomly, but cover my book. Yeah. You don't have to go to this extreme of recovering a book, but I think it just shows, you know, a lot of time and effort. And like I say, if you can get your little ones involved as well, the books are treasured. I think one of the very first pictures I put on Insta was a book little bear did for one of his teachers. And literally he just used a bit of Brush-O, tore up some paper, and I think we cut out her name to go on the front of it, and it was really that simple to do. But of course, because we used Brush-O, I did put, what's it called? Sticky back plastic. Always reminds me of Blue Peter, that. There we go. And then this is where oh, other side. I'm never any good at remembering which is your reverse side and which isn't. I'm just going to pop this one here because you will see a little bit of it. I know you're not going to see lots of it, but you know. There we go. I'm going to go again. So you need to think about what products you're putting on here. If you're using something that is going to continue to move if it gets wet, so things like Brush-O, Distress Ink, Distress Oxide, basically anything that I normally use. So anything that isn't permanent is what I'm trying to say. I would always recommend you pop a little sticky back plastic over the top. Only because then you know that no matter what happens to that, whether, you know, they spill the coffee on it or whatever, if it's a gift, you know it is not going to get damaged. Especially if you're giving it to a teacher or something like that, because, you know, accidents happen all the time, don't they? We've all had that cup of coffee going in the wrong place. Evening, Maxine. Just popping that one there. I always forget how dark this one is. The Morning Mist VersaFine. I do prefer the smoky grey. Let's just get this. And the key thing is, when you're doing this, make sure your desk stays nice and clean, because otherwise you'll end up with bits on your book, and that would be trouble. And we are in trouble because my heat gun's in my sample box, which hasn't made it through shed yet. So Let me see if I can find a different heat gun. Yes, I can. And I can only find it because I've not put it away properly. So let me just... See, totally unorganised. Thinking, what's she been up to all day? Well, it's been one of them days, to be brutally honest. Had an emergency visit to the garage. And it's just gone from there on. Now let's see if this one works. Oh, it does. Feels weird. It's not my heat gun, this one. Whoa. You can tell it's one of my workshop ones, can't you? It's covered. So I'm just making sure this is nice and dry, because I'm going to put some colour behind it. So normally I should have really put my I'm not sure I like that heat gun. Might be why it's in the workshop box. It's been normally I would have put my brusho down first and then stamped on top, but I was a bit eager to get stamping, so I didn't really think that very through there. It is really dark grey, isn't it? Definitely not what it says on the tin, this one. That one. Yeah, it has been a bit of a busy weekend. I was by Sunday night I was like, yay, we're in front, and then my car didn't want to start this morning, so hey, what's that saying, 1 step forward, 50 back. But I got to go and see the lovely guys at the garage, so that was alright. And they're going to make it work again, that's the main thing. Right, so should I use brusho spray? No, I'm not. You know what I'm going to do? As we colour this in, I'm going to use colours and splatter it in the background. There we go. I've decided. I have changed my mind. Right, so we've got this. We're going to mirror those colours on that paper, that lovely pink and green. So I want a dark pink. Probably want 3 pinks. Let me see where my pinks are. Should have really sorted everything out. Some pinks, didn't I? Yeah, purples. Close enough. So, in terms of pinks, they're not pink at all, but there's a lovely green there. We'll use that mowed lawn because that's quite a good one, isn't it? I think that'll look quite nice in with it. My pinks aren't on my desk, they've gone for a wander. So, let's go for... Let me find my pinks. Bit of Victorian Velvet, there's the pink. So, well, a bit of Victorian Velvet. I'm wanting Flamingo, and I'm wanting picked raspberries. There's Flamingo. Maybe that's what I need to do. I need to shout the name out, and it suddenly just appears. Maybe. Oh, there's picked raspberries off. Maybe. So you can see I have got my lovely oxide like that. And if I bring my piece of paper in, my rather pinky paper, you can see those kind of work, don't they? Because you've got that like muted tone for the Victorian Velvet. We've got the pink there, and then we've got picked raspberry, and then we've got this like really intense pink, which I might use a pen for that one. I think that'll look quite nice as well. So I'm going to move that to one side. Always, 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 we're going to start with our Victorian Velvet, our palest one. Oh, I'm going to have to stand up again now because my paintbrush is back over there. I did say I wanted to increase my number of steps I was doing every day. Didn't quite think I meant it literally. Oh, there's one we can use. Didn't mean today, I wanted to increase them. Right, see if this one works. So I think I'm going to go paler to darker. So Victorian Velvet, Flamingo. Ooh, I could have done with another one, couldn't I? Picked raspberry. We'll use a pen. Maybe we'll do green on the outside. That could look quite nice, couldn't it? Oh no, the green's in the middle, isn't it? Right. I'm going to stop faffing. I'm going to start going for it. So we're going to do pale. I'm thinking pale green, pale. But then I won't get them all in order. So pale green, Flamingo, bright pink, and then our pick raspberry. Yes, that's what we'll do. Ooh. I made it hard for myself starting down there, didn't I? So again, not the best colouring in the world, but you get the idea, and yours would look 100 times better. I'll have to see if I can find that one that Little Bear made, because he did do a stunning job on it. And it's great fun because you get to use lots and lots of glue. So if you wouldn't love doing that, I'm going to start on this one again. So and yes, I am colouring in all of it, because when you wrap it round, you don't want it to look like, oh, Sean went to the edge of the book. I know we're going to cover over some of it inside. But I want it to look like you've sat and painted all these little I keep wanting to say reindeers, rainbows in. Evening, Claire. Oh, worst colouring in ever. I'm going to blame the brush, and we're just going to do a little bit of splattering. I'm not going to go over the top, she says, and then does extra. So we've got our, which one was that one? That was our Victorian Velvet. We're now going to go on to our Flamingo, because we like flamingos, don't we? I do keep looking for a new paintbrush. That one is driving me crackers. I know, I'm really picky, aren't I, when it comes to paintbrushes. Let's see if this one's any better. I don't even know where my favourite paintbrush is. I should really just dry that off. Oh, dodgy heat gun time. Tell you what I have noticed as well. I managed to put a hole in my tablecloth. Oh, shouldn't do that, should I? I'll show you in a minute. Sat down before, it's like, oh, there's a big hole in my tablecloth. I'm either going to have to move it or change it. That should do. It seems quite noisy, that, compared to the other one. That'll teach me not for looking through the boxes. I'm just going to pop this down here because I know I've not dried it completely. I did say green, didn't I? Yep, so I'm going to come in on this one. I was going to say I might just be out of shot there, but so I've got to admit, this pink, the flamingo, doesn't go that far when you're painting with it at all. Seems to add water and it goes poof, gone. not wilted violet. Yeah, it'll come back to me, the other one. Seedless preserve, that never seems to stick around for long on your desk. So again, we're just working with our pinks. Until I'm colouring, I've gone quiet. I'm going to do this one. We're definitely going to need more for splattering, aren't we? There we go, so we've got our lovely pinks. I'm going to wipe this off my desk before I put more pink down, because you know what's going to happen. I'm going to pop my ink pad right into the wet bit. We don't want to be doing that, do we? Very expensive mistake to make. So again, we're just going to splatter a little bit here and there. Ooh. I said splatter, not splodge. On, tidy it up again, just give it another whack with a heat gun. Don't know about you, but it's going frosty already here. When I walked back out before, it was like, ooh, grass has gone crunchy. Maybe another cold frost tonight. Ooh. I said we might get some of that white stuff, haven't we? Ooh, can't wait. So if it could be after Saturday, that would be slightly preferable. Right. Now, let's get our picked raspberry. And then, I think that's the one I was using. No, that's the one. But again, because I'm using oxides and I'm splattering them, I don't want all my colours to mix and merge together. So if you dry them between each one, it stops that happening a little bit. Not completely. There. Like using extendo arms, aren't I? Then to use that, do that bit. Oops. Not the best colouring in the world at all tonight. In hindsight, I should have probably used the solid stamp. It would have been a lot quicker. Because let's be honest, the only bit we're really interested in tonight is how to put this book together. Because they will make lovely, lovely gifts. Oops, oh daisy. Let's grab this one. Right, we're nearly there. Come on, keep going. I know it's a bit slapdash, but I do think it kind of works, doesn't it? Run out of ink again. I'm obviously not splodging enough tonight on my table. trying to think what else I've got to tell you while I'm finishing off my painting. We're at Birmingham on Saturday. We are is it next week? Yeah, next week the new monthly make goes out. Woo-hoo. And we start opening our calendars. That's gonna be exciting. There we go. That'll kind of work. And then we're gonna splatter that. Ooh. Need more water. It's not splattering. Can't wait to start opening the calendar. It's gonna be really Christmas then, isn't it? Not sure where that splattered because it didn't go on the paper, did it? There we go. Now I'm going to use our green. I like motorcycle. It is a nice little show. Well, it isn't little, is it? I think I've said it before, but I think it's because it's got carpet. I feel very spoilt when I'm stood on carpet all day. Oh, and the chandeliers. I mean, who doesn't love being stood underneath the chandelier? Apart from when we're setting up and breaking down because there's that big glass light behind us. Woo. Yeah, it is wonderful, wonderful. Wonderful venue. Don't get many fancy places like the Motorcycle Museum. It's not because I leave a trail of brush behind me, but you know. Oh, that'll be fun, Noala. You have to come along, get yourself in on the make and take, and your friend too. And then, oh, look at that green. Because we're going to be booking onto my make and takes again. I haven't decided how many I'm going to try and squeeze onto the table yet. Need to see my space first. Because as always, we're in the naughty corner. It's the only place people put us is in the corner. But it has been a bit of a baptism of fire going back to the shows, I must admit. It's that Monday morning when you wake up and you've got that random bruise. And for the life of you can't remember actually knocking where it is. But it's there. Every week, like clockwork, you've got that big bruise that arrives. Oof. Yep, make sure you come in, get yourself a seat. I think it's 10 till 3 the show. So we're doing them every, well, on the half hour. Ooh, squeaky chair again. Only because I've tried and change the times, I forget. And then hopefully we'll see Claire's favourite peacock again. He is beautiful, that peacock. Never know, he might have been all liking those splatters of green. He might have gone and lived somewhere else. He's had no one to chase for the past 12 months, 18 months, 2 years even. I was trying to work out in my head then how long it's been since we've been to the Motorcycle Museum. Been a while. Though saying that, I've been up and down the M6 every weekend. Last 2 weekends, so like 3 weekends on trot I've done the M6. We're becoming like best mates, me and the M6. It likes me to stick around, so it puts extra roadworks in. And then a bit of a rolling roadblock just for good measure. Always makes life interesting though. Right. We're nearly done. Yeah, we should always be in our naughty corner. I don't like moving this. Oh, I've dropped my pens on the floor. Ugh. I really am fingers and thumbs tonight, aren't I? So I think this is the one we're going to go for. Let's just check. Oh, that's a bit bright, isn't it? But it does fit. That one. Oh, what's the other one? No, we're going to go with this one. The other one's a bit too purple. So really quickly, just on here. I am conscious that this isn't, I was going to say up to my usual standard, that sounds big-headed, doesn't it? No. You know what I mean. I'm not taking my time, I'm not making it look pretty, I'm just giving you an idea, because if you're going to try this, yours will look a whole lot better than mine does. But you can get away with sorry Claire, that just threw me. She's put walk in, go left, and it just reminded me of that little advert on the telly at the moment, you know, with the bees. If you break down, you should go left. It always makes me giggle, that advert. These two little bees on the windscreen. It's the small things in it that keep us going. But I can, every time I see that advert. Anyway, minor detail. So I can't even remember what I was saying now. Never mind. Right. That's the advert. Little bees everywhere. And you do find, well, obviously, I find myself as we've been going down road on Saturday, there was one that had his poor little blinkers going, and all I sat there, I was singing it in my head. Go left. And his poor little blinkers were flashing, and he wasn't pulling over. He wasn't going left. And Miss Roo just sits there. You can tell he kind of gets that look as if to say, what are you doing? It's like, well, I'm singing the Go Left song. Okay, nearly there. Look at that, now it's starting to come together, isn't it? I have really whipped through this. You would obviously be taking your time. You'd be doing a lot better techniques on it than I have. But basically I wanted a pattern background that we can pop onto our book. So doing it. Get in there, get in there. Nearly. I haven't decided what we're doing with our hearts. Maybe we should do them in, ooh, a bit of a yeah, what are they called? Sparkle pens. If I can find my pink one. So there's that one. And then, I was going to say, I saw my gel pens earlier. Oh, there you go. Got a big pink one. And we will just... Well, actually, I'm not going to do it. What I would do is go and colour in my hearts in my gel pen. I'm going to leave it there. The reason I'm not colouring it in is because when I turn it over, it's not going to have time to dry. Because now you'd go onto your back page, sort out your back page. But we're not. We're going to just work on our front page for today. So, oh, look at that. It's come through. I was going to say, why is it not gone there? It's because I didn't colour it in. Silly girl. You can tell this is thinner card. Like I was saying before, it's probably about a 120 GSM. And it's called canvas card. It is wonderful stuff to work with. But you can just something thinner than your 300 GSM, because otherwise all them folded corners, it really does bulk up and it becomes very, very bulky in the corners. Right, so this is my front cover. It's always dangerous when I have a thought. So this is my front cover. I need to make sure this stays on the left. Yep. So I'm going to flick that over like that. And then this is going to go just like that. Nope, that's the wrong way. It's going to go like that. I knew I'd do it the wrong way round. What I normally do is I would write a T and a B, so I know which one is which. So just make sure, if that's going to be my front cover, is it all the right way? So when it's in my book, that's what I want to see on the front, and then I turn it over and my spine and everything is in the right place. So I'm going to open that up again. I know how dangerous this is. And I'm going to find my glue. Now you can use like bookbinding glues, you could use a glaze and seal, anything like that. But basically you want a really strong glue. So for me, it has to be, yay, volcano glue's living up to its name. And you can't really have too much glue when you're doing something like this. I have seen somebody do this using the, you know, the whatchamacallit, yeah, it'll come back to me, what's it called, like the big adhesive sheets. It takes me time today, doesn't it, to get ready, to get my words out. But for me, I can't get it to lie flat if I use those big adhesive sheets, so I'd rather use my glue, and it gives me a little bit more time to... You can see why Crafty Bear loves doing this one, can't you? Loves making these books. Just be careful, you don't want to fill your holes up. Nothing worse than glued up holes, is there? Oops, a daisy. Don't want to get my finger sticky. There we go, right, we've done. Oh, it would look nice in Angelina, wouldn't it? There's a challenge for you. To be fair, I know where my Angelinas are. So we're just going to rub this down. Again, just making sure it's the right way. You know me. Just get a real good press down. You'll notice I'm pressing from the inside, not the outside. Because I don't want to start rubbing on that other side. Yeah, a good strong PVA would work just as well. And I have seen people use what's it called, red tape, melamine tape, to do it as well. It is all down to personal choice. So at the end of the day, you're going to flick this round, you're going to put holes through it, and you're going to stick a backing paper onto it as well. So there's going to be so many points where it's got contact and it's going to be nice and secure that it's just... The reason I use Cosmic Shimmer is because it's on my desk. and I know you are going to get such a good bond with it. But yeah, any glue you're happy using would work. Right, so if I turn that over now, you can see we have got our lovely front cover. And I didn't quite line it up, but it's not a problem because that's it. Right, so cheat, yeah. If you actually look here, it tells you how we want to fold the corners. So we want to put this side in first, and then this side we want to cut it at an angle. There we go, I'll get that out in the end. So we want to cut that at an angle, and then wrap that round. So we want to do outside edges and top and bottom. So if I do this, yeah, well, one, I'm already stretching my paper, which is good. I'm going to stretch my paper. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is just trim down here. So what I want to do is stretch it around the corner. Especially with a bright notebook down this. I'm just going to do that one as well. Ah, Claire, that's why you wear a scarf, dear. Not because it's cold, I just wear my scarf. Hides a multitude of sins. And it's nice and toasty. Right, so again, I'm just going to fold that one over. It's a lot of, to be fair, when you're doing this, it is a lot of prep, and then all of a sudden it all just falls into pieces. Oh, pieces, better not fall to pieces. All falls into place. Yep. Right, so now if I do that and seal that down, I haven't got a diddly where those holes are, apart from you can feel them a little bit. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to put these holes back in now, and then we can put them in from the other side as well. So normally I would use my crocodile, you know, your big machine that puts the holes in. I know it's in the house because it was borrowed, so I know it was in the house. I won't tell you who borrowed it, but you can guess. He's in the bad books for breaking my car. Anyway, so what you want then is a pokey tool, which again is not on my desk, or I thought it was. Oops. That one will do. Or a nice sharp pair of scissors. So let me just see if I can find my pokey tool. Or a nice craft knife would be good. I thought I was doing well. I remembered where my books were. I remembered to get some card out. Oh, there you go. We'll use a craft knife instead. I do use my crocodile, the big one. I've got a big bite one, but the little one works just as well. And all I would do is, on this side, is I'd take my crocodile, use it on the biggest setting. So is it 1/16 or 3/8, whichever one's bigger. So the bigger hole, I would make sure the teeth go down into that hole. Yep, so slowly line up, put my teeth down into that hole, and basically work along all of this. But because I'm not that organised, and I forgot I'd need that bit, it's been a while since we've done this, isn't it? What I'm going to just do is I'm going to grab my knife. So if you haven't got a crocodile, I'm just going to go across like this. And remember, you'll be doing this on the front and back. You're not just going to be doing one side of it, are you? No. Unless, of course, it's got a nice book to your back. You know, I'll say that again. A nice back to your book. There we go. Still going. And all I want it to do is mark where, you can see here, got those little marks in where I'm going to push from the front to the back. nearly there. So now, when I come over to the front, it's going to be a lot easier to find those holes, she says. There we go. Or you could cheat even more and grab a hole punch and poke that through. That's the one. Right, so now I've got all those holes on my front. I can see them, I can, honest. And there, and there. Didn't quite come through. There we go. I didn't apply enough pressure. I was being gentle for once. It's not like me. Been helping little lady when she got home from school to do some bag tags for her dance school. So I've been using fiddly ribbon and what's it called, and beads. My fingers are all oof. Right, anyway, I'm going off on right tangents tonight, aren't I? Don't mean to. So let's just get that pressed nicely. I've not done the back because we're going to glue it, and then we're actually going to cut it from the back, from the front, so that my nice neat edge is on my front. So can you see I've got a fold here, my fold here. So this one, I'm going to just come up slightly like that. Yep. I'm going to go down, I'm going to do the same again. Just like that. Well, she didn't really have much choice about letting me help because she needed all the ribbon sealing. So I've literally been sat sealing ribbon. And boy, does it stink. It really does stink. It was fun. It was really fun. Oh, believe me, Noala, we are not making these again in a hurry. I thought when she said she wanted to do it, she was going to make like 10, 12. Oh no, we're at 72. Yeah, I think everyone who's going to this party is getting one. Yeah, sealing ribbon, you know, so it doesn't fray. So you literally sit there with a little match or a lighter. You have to just catch it. It works brilliantly. If you need to seal ribbon, it is one of the best things you can do. Stops it fraying and everything. It's that grosgrain stuff. But yeah, just pop the edge of the ribbon along a flame of some description, and then it is nicely sealed. So the last thing you want to do is give all these lovely gift tag things out and they all start fraying. Oh, sorry. She's made some bag tags, you know, like I'll pop a picture in group later for her dance class. Well, not for her dance class, for the whole dance school. Oh, sorry, I didn't realise that had gone so blurry. But we're back now, aren't we? So all I'm doing now is, this is the one we want to cut at an angle, so I'm going to pop that like that. I'm going to open that one up. I'm going to do the same on this one. Pop that down like that. Looks a bit like an envelope now, doesn't it? Yep. Don't know why I threw it that way because my bin bag's on the other side. I'm going to turn it. I'm going to do the same again. I'm just going to go in and chop, in and chop. Just make sure I curled that corner a bit more. Did you see it tore? They might be lovely, Mum, but there's a lot of them when you've got to seal the ribbon and glue them as well. She's done a cracking job though, can't complain. So all I'm going to do is pop this one in. I didn't bend this one, did you see then? This one, these went over really easy because I'd sat here basically pressing that seam I hadn't done it on this one, which is why it took a bit more persuasion, and you can hear it, it's fighting. And then just while you've got wet glue in there, just tidy up these corners a little. There we go. Quite neat corners for me, that. And what you should always be doing is making sure your desk is nice and clean at the same time. So I'm not going to fall for that again. I'm going to make sure we get this one nicely folded like that. It's only like when you're scoring a card, isn't it? It's the same applies. You want to stretch those lovely fibres in your paper and make sure, yeah, pile on the glue as well. More is definitely best on this one, apart from if it starts splodging out. If it starts splodging out, then you're in trouble. There we go. Right, so now if you were going to put sticky back plastic over it, you'd do exactly the same thing again. You would start to put your sticky back, and then you'd fold it over, cut your corners the same, and splat it on. I'm not going to do sticky back because it's exactly the same. You just obviously take your time to do it. So now, because I've not got my crocodile, rude, we just need to go through and poke. It's been ages since we've done one of these, isn't it? We're going to make it look pretty from the front. Just be careful. Can you see here where we've got like four layers of backing? Yeah, so just be careful when you're going through this one that you are piercing each layer of card. It's going to bug me. I could just go and get my crocodile. It's one of them though, if I go in the house, oh, it's not worth it. Just keep going. It's easier on the side. If it doesn't stick, you could cheat and use a little bit of, obviously when it's not when it's wet, you could use red tape instead. Yeah, or literally it's just, sometimes it's just making sure that that piece of paper or card, whatever you're using, is saturated with the glue. If it's not saturated with the glue, it's not going to stick. So get yourself a real good adhesive, whether it's, well, like I say, I prefer my, oh, this is looking like a dog's dinner because I've not got my crocodile. And I don't like using craft knives, can you tell? Right. There we go. Right, you will have way more. There you go. I don't have that much patience, Noella. Just prove that. You would have way more patience. So you would be going into these, making sure that they are a nice cut nicely. I am just doing it really quickly with my scissors because I know you've been listening to my dulcet tones for long enough tonight, and we've still got a bit more to do, haven't we? So I'm just popping my scissors in and giving it a waggle. So poke it through a hole. Just watch your fingers. Yeah, just your fingers. And go through the hole. Because the neater you make these holes, the smoother you're going to be opening and closing that book. Yeah, keep going through. By now, if you'd have done it with your crocodile, you'd be done. You'd be onto your cup of tea by now. There you go. Ooh. Just hold that bit down. Look, it looks alright mess on the inside, but we'll sort that out in a second. going to go from the back. There we go. And poke it all back through because we don't want that nastiness on front. She says, and she didn't poke it back very well. But yeah, yours will look 100 times better than mine. Let me just tidy it up in the back. So I'm just going to snip off all my bits and bobs on the back because it's pushed it all through. So even if you just go along and tidy it up, see if I can get my knife in there. And you can see here, let me just do it there. Oh no, it's fine. I was going to say it's not quite. So this is the one I've not done from front. It hadn't quite stuck properly, but it's fine. It would help if my knife was a little bit sharper as well. So you would go along and you would make yours look super pretty. But we want to start putting this back together again, don't we? Because you know how to use a yeah, what's it called? Craft knife better than me. I know Claire's always with her craft knife. So all I'm doing is I'm just trimming this up so it's a little bit neater. A little bit neater. Do you talk amongst yourself for a minute while I've just regretting my bad memory of bringing my crocodile out with me. But you could, if you've got a single hole punch as well, that works. If you've got anything basically that makes a hole. Even if you've got a hole punch, just make sure you use one of it. Some of them are a bit choosy about how much they let to go through. Yeah. You just know I'm going back over this with my crocodile later. Right. I'm not going to faff with it anymore because I will. I'll just go and grab my crocodile because it'll be easier. Or a hole punch. I was actually wondering whether I had a hole punch in here, but I don't think I do. Right, I'm going to stop faffing in about 3 more holes. Right, so yours will look a lot neater than mine does, because I've not been that neat and tidy. So at the moment, when we put this back in our book, don't look at that bit. It would look tidier if I've had. Oh, hang on. We've gone all blurry. Come back. There we go. We're back. Yep. So we've got the front of our book looking a little bit neat, and I've just got a blob of glue on that there. Yeah. If you wanted to, this is the time you would do your sticky back plastic. We're not going to. But we look now, we turn it inside, and it looks like a dog's dinner, this bit here. So what I am going to do is I'm going to grab my lovely paper, and I'm going to mark where I want this. So I don't want it to go over my holes, because yet again that would mean I would have to do more punching, and you've seen I'm not great at the hole punching today because I'm missing my punch. Yeah. So I'm going to mark it there. I'm in a little bit from that side, and I'm in a good amount from that side, and all the while just make sure you are covering over all of that paper. So we're about there, aren't we? So 1/2 centimetre in. I'm not going to go just like that, and we're going to go about there. And all I'll make sure is, well, you can see I'm under half my paper. Oh, you can't see. What I would do is, if you're working on a bigger notebook, and I'm using like a 12x12 sheet here, just make sure you don't go over half of your sheet. Yeah, so wherever it is, I would cut it half a sheet, and then I will get my front and my back cover out. So I'm just going to jump up for a second and use my guillotine to cut my piece of paper down. So I'll leave you with our lovely little rainbows for a second, or maybe 2, because I've got to climb over something. we go. So we have got our lovely stripy paper. How cool is that? And normally if I'm doing this as a gift for like a teacher or something, I would get another piece of white card on the inside. Look at that, reminds me of pyjamas. So I would get another piece of white card on the inside and just let the kids write a note to the person that you're making it for. We've done it for all sorts. We've done it for dance teachers, teachers. But it's a real quick, well, it's not quick, is it? But nice little one. If you don't want to use your glue for this one, make sure you do something like red tape so it stays nice and secure. So again, just to remind you, at this point, if you want to add sticky back plastic, go for it now, because once you put this piece on, nah, not a good idea, because you can't hide all your bad bits. So I'm going to put that on there like so. Pop that down, make sure we smooth it out. It fits in quite well, doesn't it? Quite like that piece of paper now. So my rather bad looking hinge, we've got our front page. I will go back in and colour in my little bits with my glossy accent, not my glossy accents, my gel pen. But we're now at the putting it back together stage. Yep. Oh, I nearly lost them all then. So normally in books like this you get a big bit and a little bit, yeah, so you know that's the way it goes, because your big bit wants to be at the top. Yep. So if we turn it over, I'm going to roll this so my paper is not going to fall out. And then the most important bit is you want them right sides together. Yep. Right sides together, spines together. Yep. So basically it's inside out. Yep. Like that. Spines together on that side. You want them facing each other. Yep. And then this is where you hope you can do it in one go, but I'm not going to have to do it in two because I can't keep them together, and I didn't open up my spine very well. So I'm going to put my front cover on first. Yours will be easier because obviously you spent time and you cleaned out all the holes and you did all your nice little hole punching and that. Mine's not going to go in easy because I didn't spend the time making it all neat and tidy. So front cover first. I can't stress that enough. Front cover first, like that. We're going to pop our back cover in now. Ding, 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 ding. To be fair, if I'd have bought a pink book or a green book, we'd have got away with the plain back, wouldn't we? There we go. So you don't have to decorate front and back. There's that bit in there. Now we're going to lift it up. So can you see my spine? It's all hiddledy-piddledy. Yep. We're basically going to squeeze it shut. If you've got a cinch, you'd whack it in your cinch and your cinch would do all this for you. But if you haven't, you've got your own little cinch, haven't you? You've got your little pincers. And we're just going to squeeze, squeeze. You don't want to squeeze, over squeeze it. Because if you get it and just go, what happens is it goes from being a nice little circle, yeah, to being an odd shape, and then that'll never work right. So squeeze it gently first. Yeah, so just gently squeeze it back together. Dink, dink, dink. I will admit now, some are easier to do than others. I've always found the B&M ones the easier spines to work with. Wilko's ones, the wire's a bit thicker and it can be a little bit tricky. But you just take your time, do it nice and slowly. Yeah, and make sure you keep it as that lovely circle. Now, we're going backwards and forwards, we're squeezing. And you'll notice I actually squeezed that a lot closer than when it came from the shop. Yep, because I like my two lumps. Oh, hang on, we've gone blurry. Just an important bit, how rude of it. There we go. I like my two lumps basically sitting in each other, just like that. So I'm going to keep going along and squeezing it. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. squeeze it, and just make sure you get all of those. Oh, look at them there, right in the middle. They didn't want to squeeze in, did they? Gently squeeze it. Just like that. What I have been known to do as well is, you see here you've got these two spiky bits. I might occasionally get my wire cutters out, because I don't always like leaving them like that, or popping a blob of glossy accents on the end. Right, so moment of truth. I'm going to pop that way. We've got our front cover. We then open it up and it has all gone back together, and that's the same. There we go, and we've got our back. But like I say, you would spend more time clearing this bit up, because you can see it got a bit stuck then coming back over, and that's literally because I haven't cleaned these edges out. But yeah, you can see that it's a really, it is easy to do, and it's fun, and it is something really personal. So if you get the kids to do it for a teacher, a grandparent, you know, auntie or uncle, it's something lovely. You could do it as a grab a diary as well, couldn't you, and do it with a diary. But that is it. That is it. You will grab a piece of paper, put your design on it, or you could use pattern paper. Grab your design, pop your design on it. Just bear in mind that you want to make sure you've got enough space around it. So if you are using pattern paper, make sure it's big enough. So I always go for 12 by 12 sheets, or A4. Yep. So you've got your pattern paper. You want to make sure if you're stamping any sentiments on it, do you remember when I folded it? Yep. I'd make sure it was in the right place for my sentiment. For this, I think I'm just going to stamp a little sentiment on here once I've got my gel pen coloured in, after I've tidied that bit up. It does need tidying up. And then you're going to use a good strong glue. I've used my Cosmic Shimmer today. I would recommend a glue rather than tape, but it does work as well with your tape. So if I was to tape it, I'd be at the bottom, one at middle, one at top, and then obviously when you're coming around, you'd be doing next to the edge of your book and at the edge of your piece of paper. The only reason I don't recommend tape as much for the outside is it may ripple. So if your paper, you put lots of colour into it, or lots of moisture into it, as it dries it ripples, doesn't it? And when you put tape on, you're not going to get those ripples out as good as you would if you were using glue. Hope that made sense. Then we folded it all up. We wrapped it up like a little present, but if you forget how to wrap it up, don't worry. If you look at your book, it's going to tell you what to do. So you can see here, you want to wrap your edges, your sides over first, then your top and bottom. Your top and bottom you cut at an angle and stick them down. You need to put your holes back through. If you want to add your sticky back plastic, that's the time to do it, when you've got your front and your back folded round, before you stick on this piece here. You can see this piece has got its glue still a bit wet behind it. And that's it. That is really as simple as it is. And it works on anything that has one of those spines. So you can see here, that's all I did with this one. This one's spine was already crushed before I got it, so don't judge me on that one. You can see that's all I've done on here. So you can see I've done my folds on my corners. I've used my cinch to make lovely holes. Look at those lovely holes. Yeah, and then just decorated it up. There is exactly the same wire binding. I don't know if you can quite see that. It's exactly the same. I've not quite squeezed that enough, have I? Yep, and then you pull that one back through. There we go, all sorted. And if you did want to hide your gubbins, you just put some ribbon on it, don't you? There you go. You don't see it. So it's that wire bound you're looking for. Right, I think that's it for tonight, isn't it? We have done quite a lot, even though we've not got a finished product. Yeah, I couldn't find the right button to press. So that is it from me tonight. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I'd love to see what you get up to with your books. Remember, wire bound, not the spiral. Spirals aren't good for this, because it does take a lot to get them back in. So that is it from me tonight. We are back on Wednesday, and then we are heading to the Motorcycle Museum on Saturday. I do want to say Sunday, but it's not, it's Saturday, isn't it? So Motorcycle Museum, 10 till 3 on Saturday. So I think that's everything I had to tell you. Oh, where are we up to with orders? Thank you so much for everyone who joined us at weekend on the craft store. Again, it was a bit of a surprising show. Didn't expect how it turned out at all. So we are working through your orders. I'm hoping to get most of them out by tomorrow evening. Worst case, it'll be Wednesday. So hopefully they will be with you soon. I'm just having a look at the pile over there. So yeah, this should be out on their way. And I think that's everything. I think anyway. Oh, and I'll put I was going to put you a picture. Oh, I'll put you a picture of what little lady's been up to with her beads and us singeing ribbon, which sounds really, really odd, doesn't it? Oh, hello, Mrs. Thomas. We're about to go. I was just telling them all about little lady's bead tags that she's done, and having to sit there and singe the ribbon. Got a few more to do yet. She's been on a roll with them. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with them at the party, but you know, it'll be interesting. Anyway, that is it from me tonight. Like I say, back on Wednesday, then we are in the Motorcycle Museum on Saturday. So, oh, they do look ace, don't they? They do. They really do. And I will put a picture in the Crafty Roo's group, so you can all see what we've been up to. So anyway, that is it from me. I will see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching, and I hope I've inspired you to give creating a notebook a try. Even Mrs. Thomas has made one. She'll tell you how easy it is. Honest. Anyway, thank you for watching. Take care, stay safe, and stay warm because it's a bit chilly out there. And I will see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching.